And welcome to the conversations here at the Newark School of the Arts. We have an extraordinary guest today, one of the big personalities in the music industry. His name is Ray Chu, and he's the music director of Dancing with the Stars, and he has also been the music director of one of the most beloved shows, American Idol. Every year, he directs the amazing Thanksgiving Day Parade. And we're very excited to have him and get to know him in this conversation. Just last year, he came to our school, the Newark School of the Arts, to give a half-a-day masterclass. And he left a huge impact in our students and our teachers. So thank you, Ray, for joining us.
Thank you for having me. My pleasure. And I'll have to say, when I visited the school, I was very impressed by the level of talent and the teaching and how you had that environment and you're able to engage the students. And it brought me back and harkened to the tack when during my days of studying. I studied in many music schools all over, and it always felt like that. I love that cottage feel. And that there was some, big school with, thousands and thousands. You're able to pay attention and get to know the students. That was great.
Thank you. So yeah, it was, and this, we also have Nadine Herman, who is the director of art, the artistic director of the school.
Hi.
Hey.
So
Hi,
let's start with the first question. So, you were mentioning that coming to the school brought you back to your experience at a community school in New York City. So how was that like? Can you tell us more?
One of the first institutions that I studied at, and I studied at a lot of them. Excuse me, we're gonna pause. I'm gonna clear my throat, and y'all can edit that out. Hopefully. Anyway, the Harlem School of the Arts, right? Now I was born in Harlem, but also at that time, I also the Juilliard program was up on the Columbia campus, and my mother took me over there, and we got engaged with the school, and I won a Vladimir Horowitz scholarship to start my studies, and so I got to know about formal training early. After that, I went to the Harlem School of the Arts. Now, the Harlem School of the Arts felt very much like the Newark School of the Arts. It felt the same type of environment, not huge, big classes. The teachers get to know each other, all of the students by their first name. You get to really, you can really watch somebody grow and develop and nurture their talent. So I really enjoyed visiting, and getting to know, how the Newark School of the Arts was working. And it reminded me of the Harlem School of the Arts.
Uh-huh. Well, my question to you, I would like to ask you, to become a successful producer, what skills do you need in today's music world?
Well, you need all of them. But I'll kind of break that down. The first thing is, you have to separate skills from talent and desire and know which is which. Some people are really, a lot of gifted children, and that's a great word to really categorize. Gifted. These are things that are bestowed upon you by God as you know it, or however you recognize that. Things that you can't go and acquire. So skills you can acquire. Talent is bestowed upon you. And there are some people that have wonderful gifts and they don't develop them enough, or they take them for granted. So there's nothing worse than seeing somebody who's really, gifted and talented and squander that. On the other hand, you can have somebody with maybe perhaps less talent, but they have developed. And here's the key thing, the work ethic. So you asked me what is needed? Work ethic. Work ethic, what does that mean? Well, work ethic means you're trying to measure your growth. And to do that, you have to put the work in every day. You actually have to go, if you want to take the analogy of somebody doing farming, well, the plants are not going to jump out of the ground and into the whole system. You have to go out there and do that. You have to go out there and put that work in. You have to go in. So the hours are necessary, and then you have to learn how to work smarter and harder. You have to learn how to really actuate your growth.
Right.
And so those are some of the skills. Now, that's at the learning stage. Now, on the professional level, you have to always remain a student of the craft and continue learning. There's things that are happening now where the whole systems are changing. You got to be on it. You got to know how to use all the technology, make sure it works for you. To be a successful anything in this world right now, you got to learn how to the technology. By the way, some people, I speak with your analog recording and this and that. I remember the good old days. Well, you're not going to put the toothpaste back in the tube. All right. Streaming and all that stuff is here to stay. And it's going to get, and so you got to find a way to make sure that you are utilizing those tools well. The other things are, really just having a tenacious, attitude and appetite for pursuing your goals. All right. And I remember when I was at the Newark school, and I demonstrated, what is success? Well, success can be measured on a hourly basis, a daily basis, and also on a broader basis, right? You can decide what is successful today. Successful today can mean me just being able to get out of the bed and I'm not feeling well and get to where I'm going and have a day without falling apart. Well, that's a successful day. And also a successful day in terms of pursuing your arts and your career can mean that you set the goals that you feel are attainable. And then also know that the great ones, you want to find a way to get goals beyond your grasp. Reach beyond your grasp. You got to find a way to do that. And finally, when you think of the cherry tree, well, the ones you got to go, they're on the end of the branch. You got to get out there and get to them. So there you go. I said a lot.
I mean, and right on, and really words that I hope people who are listening will follow. I mean, for me, one of the most important things in any profession in the music field is the discipline. You must be a disciplined person, and you have to have the strength every day to wake up, sit down at the piano or whatever instrument and find a challenge that you need to overcome and work it.
That's right. And also what I like to extend to all the students and young people, you have to be able to recognize, if you're an instrumentalist, recognize greatness. Who's a great instrumentalist? If I play the piano, who do I think is great? And if whoever that is in your mind, and there may be several, and that's great. Who do you think is really great doing this? Well, then you see where they are and see where you are, knowing that they started somewhere too. You're not born, day one great. You have to work and you have to do a lot of things to get there. However, there's a road traveled to get there. So if they're here, greatness is here, and you're here, then that's the distance you need to cover. Now, along the way, and it seems like a lot to people. Whoa, that's a long way. Well, yes and no. It's shorter with each day you put the work in, and certainly, you have to along the way of seeking greatness, you're going to find some great things about yourself.
Yeah,
and I noticed myself as well when I think of the people that I admire. That also motivates me to practice and to work harder. So, talking about that artist, that person that motivates us, that would try. Who's that person for you, Ray? Who's that? The person that you admire, the artist that you
Well,
admire.
I tell you, there were many because I'm like multi-disciplines. And I played and studied multi-instruments, and I specialized in a few, but always interested in many things. And so, if I was, as a arranger uh, and a producer, I really loved Quincy Jones and his work, his body of work, and the things that he accomplished, and also how uh, his career encompassed many things, and movie scores. Well, going back to him as a trumpet player, then as
Yes.
an arranger, then as an arranger, then leading his own band and taking risks. He took his band out to Europe, and they almost didn't make it back. All right, and then coming back, and he did A&R work, and then so many wonderful things. And I that's really kind of how I patterned a lot of my desires in my journey after.
And of course, and one of the all-time great albums, isn't it the Duke with James Ingram and Patty Austin, Ray?
Yes, that is amongst. I know
remember
all of his records, but yes, I love that one as well.
Oh my God! I remember when I played that album till you couldn't play it anymore. So fantastic.
Yes, and Walking in Space.
Yeah.
Listen, I played every note of Walking in Space. Every instrument, I learned every solo, and that was one of the things that when I was studying arrangers, and how to be an orchestrator, an arranger, and somebody. One is that you could, you have to be able to take a record or a composition or something, and you have to be able to break it down in all of the components and all of the molecules and hear every part, every note.
Yes. Yes.
And that's what I learned to do. And learning to do that, I learned how to bake the cake myself. So
Yes.
you got to learn how to, what they say, dissect the cake or break it down. Well, you have to. That's how you're going to learn how to bake your own cake.
So, Ray, you have become an artist to look up. So a lot of students get that motivation from looking at you and what you have accomplished in your life as a musician. Nadine has actually a quote from one of our students. Maybe Nadine, you want to read it? This is from one of the students at the master class.
Oh, great.
And I believe, Ray, that you did work with Gabriel de los Santos. I think
I remember him. Yes.
So he sent me this beautiful message. My experience working with Ray Chu has been one of the best experiences of my life. I was so excited to be working with one of the best in the business. When we began to rehearse, I felt so much energy. I could tell that everyone was playing from their hearts. I also felt very respected and treated like a professional. I was able to provide insight and share ideas that I thought I could bring to a song and take it to the next level. Thank you, Ray Chu, for everything.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Gabriel de los Santos.
Yes.
Just want to let you know that, you have become that inspiration for so many people.
Well, thank you. I remember, and the reason why, and I remember the experience with him, and I believe it was an Apollo experience, and he was a contestant. And my approach with the young people or anybody that's stepping up as a contestant or in any situation, I give the same approach that I would anybody who's been doing it 20 years or something. First of all, if you're stepping up, you're an artist, and I expect both of us to be prepared. However, if you're not, I'll take up the slack. But anyway, preparation. So that's one of the things that is going to help all the students and the people understand what it takes. But I'm gonna go back to that situation, and so the Apollo years, we worked certain things we did, but a big one was amateur night. So
Yes.
just even the word amateur night, connotes that well, they're amateurs. Well, not necessarily all of them. It's just called amateur night. Some of them are some of them have been working at it and just haven't achieved the kind of success they want. Some of them are very young, like Gabriel was, and then some of them are, just on a journey trying to find themselves. In any case, it's not my business is to make sure that I prepared all the music, treated them to a great experience in a timely fashion that we have to do it and make it happen. So I'm glad he had a great experience, and I see that he's doing really great things. Congratulations to you, Gabriel.
And
So,
go ahead, lady.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Patricio.
So, I had the same experience that Gabriel had, also working with you, because you invited me to the Night of Inspiration at Carnegie Hall. And I also felt so appreciated. You treated me so professionally, and it was, my debut in the biggest, theater there at Carnegie Hall was such a great experience. So, but I'm wondering what's happening now with the pandemic. I know you had it scheduled for this year. So, what is the future of the Night of Inspiration?
Well, the Night of Inspiration is a great evening that brings a lot of people together, a lot of cultures, a lot of different faiths, and we've been able to do that, on the great stage of Carnegie Hall with a 64-piece orchestra and 150 in the mass choir performing great music works. And I get to compose. You and I composed something together. That was a really great moment. I'm glad, that it is captured somewhere for the archives of Carnegie Hall. And I just remember a moment during the rehearsal, because the orchestration and arrangement took a journey, through many paths, and by the time we got to almost to the end of one, the whole ensemble applauded, like, wow, we did this together. And so I just remember just doing that, and that experience is one that I like to transfer that energy to the people who join me on stage. I want to make sure we all get to feel that and enjoy that. So during this whole COVID, moment in our history, a lot of things have had to change with regard to how live music is going to be presented. And so we've learned how to keep people and artists relevant by bringing their music to people in different manners. So yes, I've been busy doing that. There's been a lot of presentations by video where we've had to piece and knit and edit together a performance with people in different places, and then bring the music together and present by video. And so I've been doing that, and a lot of people have learned to do that. We've done that with regard to the Night of Inspiration at Carnegie Hall. Well, I'm not knitting that together. We're gonna have to wait till we get back on the stage of Carnegie. Hopefully, we are scheduled. We had one on the calendar. We've had to kind of push it back. So I think our next one is going to be December 22. We'll be back full. We had one for 21. I don't know if they'll quite be ready. We'll see. But we definitely have one for 22. And we'll be, putting together other presentations to keep the wonderful brand and spirit of inspiration together.
Well, my other question, when a young artist puts together a demo to submit to a record company or producer, what is it exactly that they're looking for today?
I'll tell you, the record companies in which they are becoming less involved in developing talent. The record companies now are just looking for successful items where people, if you walk in, I could say right now, if any one of you walked in or any one of your students walked in and they had 2 million followers or some great number,
Yeah.
however they got it, but they come in, that record company's going to be willing to sign them up. I don't, and figure out how to monetize that, because the business of entertainment is now what the labels are focusing on. You and I and these arts institutions are still looking at developing great talent, not so much at labels and a lot of entertainment entities. They're just looking at entertainment and how they can monetize that. So that's where the whole social media experience and comes in, and how do you get more followers, and how do you get them to to mobilize when you want them to. I guess a great case of that, and I don't want to diminish any of her talents that she may have that may be unrecognized, but you have somebody like Kim Kardashian, who I don't think anybody's gonna compare her to some of the great artists. However, whatever she wants to do, she wants to put out a record, or she wants to, it's whatever, because she's got 10 million followers. So that's how they monetize entertainment. So there's a difference between entertainment and arts pursuit. We're still in the business. We're still in the business of nurturing and bringing artists. And I believe, and I still believe, that the lifeblood of our industry does rest upon great new artists and talent, and new songs and new compositions.
Yes.
The world still wants that, and that's what I focus on.
So just following up on that, audition material, or, are there, networking is very important in any field. Are there any associations or any groups that you recommend for young aspiring, producers to join?
Yeah. I think there are probably a lot of forums that are available, when just in terms of the learning structure, and then there are probably some that you can enter into that help you organize a community, and I'm not necessarily aware of those specific ones. I do know that they're out there. I have my foundation, the Power to Inspire Foundation, in which this year we brought together 25 really wonderfully talented and gifted young artists seeking to enter into the professional field. Their ages were between 18 and 24. And this was a national recognition. And then we brought together 75 mentors from around the world to help them. And then for the purposes of, and so this would be an answer to your question, this was a forum for those not only to get the kind of information. It was a 4-week program. They got to know each other, and they developed a network within that whole system. And so that was a forum that was that we made available, but it was a select amount of people, and we will do the same thing on an ongoing basis, and we'll probably find ways to do a whole lot more of it. But it was wonderfully successful, and I urge everybody to go and take a look at our website. It was True Entertainment. You can go on and you'll see Power to Inspire. So the Power to Inspire Foundation is what we've been using to really reach and help nurture the next generation of music makers.
Great.
We'll have to have Gabriel apply, Nadine.
Definitely, for sure.
So, Ray, just to end the conversation, are there any projects that we should be looking forward, artistic projects that you're working on today?
Well, I'm in Los Angeles, and we are it's been, we found a way to, well, I'll say the network found a way to bring all the people together so that we could do broadcast, we could do a season of Dancing with the Stars.
Wow.
I'm very, very happy that I'm still at the helm, and so it's been. We did our debut on Monday. That was our premiere of this season of Dancing with the Stars, and it's of course we have it's 10 weeks of that, and that's been great, and so all the music now. It's presented a little differently. We have to pre-record everything, and then they dance to it in the ballroom. However, the show still feels and smells like the show that people have come to love, and I've been doing that. Also, this season, matter of fact, it'll be next week. I've been wonderfully blessed. I worked on another show that will be. This is the debut of it's called I Can See Your Voice. And it's a music game show. They've been advertising it already. It's on Fox. I did all the music. I produced all the music, and it's gonna be fun. You should look out for it. It'll come on right after The Masked Singer. That's what I've been pretty busy doing that.
Wonderful. And do you know what they're doing with Macy's this year?
Yes, I do. We just had a meeting. Macy's is going to be one of the few parades that will proceed this year. All right. I know they've canceled others. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will happen. It'll be less of the crowds, so there won't be hordes of crowds along the route, but the balloons and the floats will happen. The performances will happen. So the broadcast of the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will happen. All the things that you love about the parade will be there. And I think the general public is now already become accustomed to seeing these big events happen without big hordes of people because they know what the challenges are. And so that's what's going to happen. The parade will. Well, and I just remember.
The show goes on, and Ray, I remember your brilliant opening. Was it last year, Don't Rain on My Parade?
Yes, I enjoyed that. That was great. Thank you.
Oh, my God. It was so spectacular.
Thank you. Well, we're going to do some more spectacular things. We'll, they're in the works now, and, we're working on them.
Okay, great.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ray, for your time, for always thinking of our school and thinking of our students. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Well, I can't wait to come back, and we're going to have to schedule a time for me to do that. By the way, and you're right, I think when they initially asked me to come to the school, they said, well, maybe you could do like an hour or something. No, I said, no, I need 3 hours because that's the way I like to engage, and it wound up being longer than that. So next time I come, I'm gonna make sure I schedule, like you said, half the day because I want to talk to these people. I want them to hear me. I want them to feel me. I want to be able to share my experiences with them and help inspire them forward.
Oh wow, that's awesome! Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Ray.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.